Thanks a lot for clicking the video, folks. As the title says, this is a Pomoly tent. Now, I was contacted by the manufacturer of this tent asking me if I was interested in trying out their gear. I was really looking at these smaller design tents. We have a couple already, but I wanted to have something that I could go out solo, that'd be quick and light. So we're going to be testing it out this weekend. We hope you guys enjoy, and hopefully we can provide some insights into this product. So just to give everyone an idea of how I showcase products on this channel, I've always only showcased items that I'm interested in getting myself, and as luck would have it, we've been contacted by a few different manufacturers, and this is one of those types of products where I had my eye on it. Really, I'm not going to do a review in the traditional sense, where I'm not going to break down each individual material and do a comparison, but I will give you my thoughts on it, and I'll do my best to give you an idea of what it would be like in the tent, and just a quick overview of the setup. So one thing is this section here, it's where you put your chimney jack. Now Pomoly provides you with a chimney jack right here. So they actually provide two of them, which is really great. If you have multiple stoves and you have different size pipes, you can adapt it to whichever size you want and switch them out. Or with time, like any chimney jack really, they will often, over a long period of time, they may wear out. So it's nice to have that spare. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to work at adjusting the, measuring the size of our chimney pipe, and cut out our opening so that we can install our wood stove. So why was I interested in getting this tent? It's a solo person tent for the most part. When you have the wood stove in it, there's only room for one person or two really small people. But the reason I wanted to get it is because sometimes Sandra's not able to join me. If you're used to our channel, my wife and I, we do quite a lot of camping, but sometimes she's just not able to come out with me. So I really want to see if this would be functional for me going forward, and I don't think there's any better way to test it out than to have Sandra try it out.
Yes!
So Sandra's going to be spending the night in here. I'll be sleeping outdoors for tonight. I got a little lean-to. We'll show you that later. So, just got to get your chimney jack going.
Yeah.
And
make my bed.
Make your bed. That's Sandra, everyone.
Welcome to my new tent.
So the tent has two really large doors, and there's these flaps that go above the zipper. As I hope it came out in the setup, there's a center pole in the middle, and basically you have your stove on this side and you sleep over in the back. It also comes with an extra accessory, which I'm really happy with, which is basically a screen netting along with a bottom floor. So especially this time of the year where there's still some creepy crawlies on the ground, Sandra's going to appreciate having that, keeping her nice and snug. As you can see, a couple of really nice, large, generous doors. Makes entry and exit fairly simple. Why would you need such large doors? Well, a couple of things. This tent is so light, you could use it in the summer if you wanted to. We could actually sleep the both of us if we didn't have the wood stove in here. But the main reason why I like it is after the sun goes down and we're done our chores around camp, I love sitting by the fire and staying nice and warm. And this time of the year where it's not winter yet, we can have the wood stove going with these open, get the nice warmth from behind us, and really enjoy a really, really fun night. So I actually really like this design. I like it a lot. Alright, so the Pomoly tent is ready to use as it is now. Doesn't have a floor in it. We're totally used to that. None of our shelters do. However, this one does come with a section here with a nice floor for half of the size of the shelter and a screened in mesh, so keep the creepy crawlies off. It went up fairly smoothly. There are loops at the ends here that have to go around the ropes that you peg out. So we had to pull the pegs out, feed the rope over. But then yeah, pretty well designed. What do you think, Sandra? Do you think you can use that?
I think I can use that. It looks pretty inviting to me. Yeah, I can see myself sleeping in here.
Nice. All right, next we're gonna set up the wood stove. My main concern with this tent is it's made out of very, very thin material, and that's by design to make it extra light and easy to pack. So that's its benefit. The negative is it's going to be a little bit fragile, so I want to make sure I don't set it up near branches, anything poking out, or I want to make sure I have a spark arrestor inside my chimney pipe to keep sparks from falling off, because I don't think it would have to have a spark be on the chimney very long for it to burn small holes in it. So I want to make sure I have a really good spark arrestor. Ideally, I would bring an elbow to bring the pipe away from the tent. However, the elbow that we have for this tent is a smaller diameter that only fits near the base of the stove, so it doesn't really fit with this design. However, having the chimney pipe up a fair amount and having the spark arrestor should help mitigate things.
It's going. I think my mattress is too big, so I'm going to have to figure something out. Oh no, it fits. Oh, awesome. Get a cushy sleeping bag. Get my pillow. Yep.
You don't want to trade?
No. Maybe next time. Ugh. Yeah, this is pretty comfy. There's even a little stash pocket back here so I can put my stuff in there. And there's tons of room behind. I'll probably bring my backpack in and put it back there.
Can you put me in there?
maybe in the fetal position. There's not that much room. Yeah, it's pretty comfy. Maybe I'll do a solo trip.
Nice. Well, we've been getting nice and toasty sitting next to the stove there, but we were both curious at the same time as to how long it'll take to heat up the shelter. So the door's wide open. We're both gonna crawl in, shut the door, and see what comes up. It's really cold, so we could really use a boost of heat.
Oh, my sleeping bag's all warm. My nose is thawing.
Yeah, it warms up the shelter pretty quick, as expected. Not too bad.
Super toasty.
Yeah. Thumbs up so far. You guys stay in the cold. Sorry. Yep, it jams up a bit. There we go. We got a bit too tight at the base, so we're gonna have to fix that. Oh my god. Yeah, you'll be cooking if you keep the stove going all night.
Well, I'm going to be cooking soon there.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. We're gonna have supper. Well, no big surprise. This stove has heated up our much larger winter tents, so what do you think? Is it a hot shelter?
It's a hot shelter. I actually feel like a cat right now. I could just go to bed in the heat.
No, it's working out pretty good. Gotta say, pretty impressed with it so far. I'm really looking forward to trying it out this winter when the temperatures really dip. But I mean, it takes so very little to heat up this because it's such a small area. So there are gaps at the bottom. There's no snow flap, but that is not a huge deal because once there's snow on the ground, you just pile up the snow on the edge and you're sealed in.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the cap at the top of the shelter here, it's removable. So if ever you have a nice clear night, you can open that up if you wanted to. I can't see myself ever doing that in the winter, but it's an option there if you want some extra ventilation. So far so good. I'm quite happy.
Yeah.
Thank you to the people at Pomoly for reaching out to me. I think I'm going to have fun with this tent.
I'm going to have fun with this tent tonight.
Yeah.
I probably won't keep the stove going all night.
Well,
we'll have a fire when I go to bed and
yeah.
then restart it in the morning.
Yeah.
But
we have winter sleeping bags, but the great thing about it, you don't have to have the fire burning all night. But to be able to reach out of your sleeping bag, put a couple of pieces of wood and just instantly heat up all your gear, your clothing when you're changing in the morning. Oh, man.
yeah,
That's worth its weight in gold.
I'll get you to come and start the fire in the morning before I get up.
Yeah. Now, in case anybody was wondering about where I was going to sleep, this is it. This lean-to Sandra and I built over 3 years ago, and we've used it for camping in the middle of winter. We've used it by just using fire in front of us to keep us warm at minus 20, minus 25. And yeah, we were able to spend some fairly comfortable nights here. So, in terms of my expertise in providing you information on the tent, I always say I'm not an expert at anything, but we do love camping. And we're camping probably every Oh, 3 weeks out of every 4, we're somewhere in the woods, so we love it. We're just big kids playing in the woods. And so far, pretty happy with that Pomoly tent. It's a Pomoly Hussar. I've said it a couple of times, keep in mind this is an ultralight, so you have to treat it a bit gentler than you would a sturdier tent. But for its weight, the heat is phenomenal in there with a nice little stove. Sandra's shelter over there. Nice Pomoly Hussar A-frame tent. So sorry for the shakiness. A little bit of smoke coming out of the chimney. We got on a slow burn just so that she can have some embers ready for her when she's ready to go to bed. And inside, she's already set up. It's got a nice screened in section there, and she's got her sleeping bag all ready for when it's time to go. So far she's pretty happy with it. Alright, good night.
Alright, good night. You stay warm and toasty.
I got my big sleeping bag. I should be alright.
So do I.
Good night, Sandra.
Good night. Don't forget to close the door on your way out.
So, Sandra was pretty happy with the tent. With having kept a really small fire in there for a little bit of time, it kept everything dry. There was dew on the ground outside, but everything was nice and dry inside. It's still, it's not winter obviously, so we didn't need to keep the fire burning all night, and she was perfectly comfortable. In terms of comfort, she was really comfortable while sleeping. However, when she had to move around inside the screen section, there's limited room in there. So if you had a larger fire going, it might make things a little bit complicated to get in and out. However, during the winter, I would likely not use the screen in section, so that should be a bit less of an issue. So one thing that Sandra mentioned also is that getting in and out through the fly here was a little bit difficult because the zipper would jam a little bit. Something to keep in mind that's a little bit finicky. This is not the kind of tent that you're going to hang out with and spread out in a chair and with a friend in there. This is really a way to keep warm, although you can stretch out on your sleeping mat and all that. It's $175 US compared to other tents that we have that cost significantly more. If you have the expectations that this is to keep you warm and comfortable at night, this will do the trick. I'm looking forward to doing a bit more winter camping with it so I can give a bit more of a long-term idea. However, so far at the price it is, I'm quite happy with it. Oh, and for those curious, I'm wearing this orange vest because it is hunting season and we want to keep safe. We did have it hanging up on a tree over there when we were filming yesterday, so just an FYI. That's why we're wearing it. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this overview. What did you think, Sandra?
I thought it was super comfortable. I slept really nice. I wasn't cold. I was nice and warm. We had a fire when I went to bed, and it was all great. This morning it wasn't so cold outside, so Mike had prepared some stuff for me to relight the stove, but we decided not to do that. So, but yeah, no, it was great. I found that it was a little bit tight when I got up in the morning and got out of the screened area to try to unzip the door to get out, but in the winter, when you're all got big winter boots and a big jacket, I think it might be more complicated, especially if you have a stove running, because you want to make sure you don't touch on yourself on the stove. But no, I had a great night's sleep. Yeah.
So yeah, in terms of a winter camping tent, this will definitely do the trick. If you've ever gone out winter camping, it's like minus 20, minus 25, and all you have is a cold tent, and you're sitting by the fire, it's almost impossible to get warm doing that, especially if there's any kind of wind. So with this, you can lounge out nice and comfortably with a little wood stove, and you can go out and do a nice nighttime snowshoe hike, and even if you get chilled, walk back inside and get warm in a hurry. So yeah, you got to know its limitations, but I think this could provide some really, really warm nights winter camping.
Yep.
So
yeah, and it is a solo tent. I thought it was
Yeah.
a little bit tight in there,
Mhm.
but I've never been in a solo tent before, so I'm used to lots of room. So yeah.
And come winter time, you won't have the netting.
No, true.
So
Yeah.
that'll free up a lot more room. So you have to keep certain things in mind. I keep tripping over these things over and over again. That's my own stupidity. That center pole, you have to be sure not to knock it over. And especially having a hot stove in there, tripping over these could be an accident waiting to happen. So I got to be conscious of that. So big thank you to the people at Pomoly for reaching out to us and allowing us this opportunity to test it out. I look forward to using it out this winter in a proper winter camping situation, and so I could probably give a bit more of a more detailed idea of how I feel about it, but quite happy so far. So thank you to the folks at Pomoly. Thank you for watching, folks, and we hope to see you again next time.
Bye-bye. Should leave that in here.